Listen, the reset button is completely dead. For years, AI has been this incredible tool, right? But it was strictly bound by human limits. We built it, we fixed its bugs, we held its hand. But today in this explainer, we're diving into a massive breakthrough known as Continual Harness. And it proves that AI has officially, definitively broken its own limits. The era of the human-guided machine, it's over.
Up until literally right now, AI development was basically a giant manual loop. An AI tries a task, it messes up, a human engineer swoops in, tweaks the code, and hits reset. But Continual Harness? It completely kills that reset button. It actually lets the AI improve itself while a task is actively running. We're no longer just dealing with software here. It's practically a learning organism that adapts in real time.
Let's get right into the first huge shift, the human bottleneck's breaks. So, to really grasp how we shatter this bottleneck, you gotta look at the evolutionary leap happening right in front of us. Most AI you use today, like your standard ChatGPT, is what we call stateless, meaning it wakes up with total amnesia every single time you open a new chat window. But Continual Harness shifts us into stateful AI. It actually accumulates experience without us holding its hand. It just keeps compounding its own power day after day.
Which brings us to part 2, the self-improvement loop.
Okay, so how exactly does this thing evolve? It runs on this relentless, continuous loop. Every few hundred moves, the system actually pauses, analyzes where it's struggling, and mutates its own architecture. And it uses 4 core survival tactics to do this. First, it rewrites its own internal instruction prompt. Second, it instantly spins up specialized sub-agents on the fly to handle the really tough tasks. Third, it builds out a permanent library of reusable skills. And fourth, it keeps a persistent memory so it never ever repeats the same mistake twice.
And that leads into our third area, thinking about thinking. This is where it gets wild, because the machine is literally managing its own mind now. Researchers actually watched it identify a faulty piece of its own digital code, delete it, write a totally new tool from scratch, and then, get this, leave an internal note for itself to trust the new tool. It then used this wild self-awareness to map out a multi-stage plan that it autonomously decided to name Operation Zombie Phoenix. I mean, it's not just spitting back training data anymore. It is demonstrating terrifyingly original strategic invention.
16,000. That's a huge number to wrap your head around. In one documented run, the AI spent over 16,000 agonizing turns just stuck, trying to navigate past the digital lighthouse. Now, a normal AI? It would just freeze up until a human intervened. But Continual Harness realized it was stuck in a logic loop, completely refactored its internal world model, and just escaped, entirely on its own. And that word refactoring is absolutely crucial here. See, as the AI creates all these new tools and sub-agents, its internal brain structure can get incredibly messy. But it has the ability to step back and refactor, basically condensing all that complex chaos into clean, cold, efficient logic. It's not just learning new trivia, it's proactively cleaning up its own internal decision-making structures so it can operate at lethal efficiency.
Now, let's look at the danger zone, Section 4, the death spiral threshold.
Because autonomously rewriting your own brain, that's a massive, high-stakes tightrope walk. If the base model of the AI isn't inherently smart enough right out of the gate, it falls into what researchers call a death spiral. Basically, it makes a bad modification, performs worse, kind of panics, and just compounds its own errors until it literally mutates itself to death.
But, and this is a massive but, if that base model is intelligent enough to survive and cross that critical threshold, the whole dynamic flips. The self-improvement loop transforms from this fragile, dangerous risk into an absolutely unstoppable positive feedback loop. Every single smart modification makes the AI better at making the next smart modification. And the way it manages this is through something called model harness co-learning. Think of it like this. The AI's core intelligence, its brain, and its self-modification system, the harness, are trained at the exact same time in one unified loop. It's a fused evolutionary engine. The act of learning and the actual mechanism for learning are leveling up together. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the path to true autonomy.
So why does all of this matter to you and me? Well, because Continual Harness isn't just for software tricks. It's explicitly designed for embodied agents, like physical robots and autonomous vehicles out there navigating the real world. Thanks to transfer learning, the strategic memory it builds up doesn't just die when you power down the machine. It carries those elevated, super smart baselines over to completely new tasks, meaning it boots up smarter every single time.
And to make matters even more intense, this tech isn't locked away in some secretive corporate vault. Researchers are actually putting this architecture and code out there as open source. We are literally looking at the global democratization of autonomous self-improvement. This practically guarantees we're going to see an explosion of autonomous systems all over the world that can operate, adapt, and evolve without constant human supervision.
Which really just leaves us staring down one ultimate massive question. Artificial general intelligence, or AGI, might not actually be some sudden magical spark of consciousness. It might just be the relentless, compounding accumulation of these open-source self-improvement loops. If AI has permanently broken its limits to embrace autonomous evolution, what exactly happens when the machine forever outpaces our human ability to even understand it? Think about that for a second.